Hi, I was asked to talk about how the diagnosis of Usher syndrome affected me and how I'm coping with it now. And I'll be honest with you, before I had the official diagnosis, I never really thought about it. I kind of just adapted to it that this was just something that I had to live with. I was very, very blessed to be surrounded by very supportive family who was willing to help me and not make me feel like it was a limitation in any way when it came to me not being able to see at night or constantly walking into things and bumping into children because I can't see outside my box. I accepted my deafness a long, long time ago in my teens. It was something that I was able to figure out a way that, okay, if I did lose my hearing, I can at least be a successful person because I could communicate in both worlds. I could sign, I could talk, I could read lips, and I would have an easier time, I guess, adjusting if I would have lost all of my hearing. About 2 years ago, I received the official diagnosis, and to be honest with you, it hit me. I guess having that label put on me was really, really hard for me. I didn't realize how hard it hit me until one day my mama sat down and, we talked about it, and I just started spurring out the realization of the things that I wanted to do, I really couldn't do. I've been told my whole entire life that, I'm not limited. I could do whatever I wanted, that kind of thing. And I still can. It just takes extra steps for me to be able to do it. Some days are better than others. I struggle a lot, honestly, now more with it because I now realize that my vision could get worse. And I'm already missing out on a lot of things. And my limitations are definitely, my family would never say a burden, but they are kind of a burden because I cannot drive at night at all. I basically have the shower set up as if a blind person would because things are set up the way they're supposed to be set up. And if they're not in that spot, then I can't find it. I wanted to be a doula, but with me not being able to drive at night, that was not put on hold. I couldn't do that. My husband is in the military, so he's not always here to help me, and my children have after-school activities, and since we have moved to El Paso, we had to hire a driver to take my daughter to her games and to her practices that happen after night, or after dark, when the sun goes down, and that's hard. That's really hard. Daylight savings time, not my favorite part of the year. I love it when I can at least drive and the sun stays out until it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock, because it makes me feel like I'm able to do more for my children instead of limiting them in their activities and things that they can do. I honestly didn't realize how much the Ushers affected me until I moved away from my support system. And when my husband and I moved to Tennessee, we developed a strong support system with some friends, and they were amazing. And they helped me, guide me through the night, from house to house when we have bonfires and things like that. And they would always make sure that there was a light set up. My husband bought one of those like portable light things that he will set up, and I was able to be a part of the conversation with everyone if we're outside. Then we lived in Killeen and Harker Heights, and we had, again, an amazing group of friends that accepted me, and when we would do girls' nights and things like that, they would allow me to ride with them and things like that. Burleson the same way. But I never really thought much about it until we moved here and I didn't have that support system, and it's hard to find that support system. Sorry, I got a little emotional there. I do have days where I wonder why I had to have both, but then again I have to remember that the good Lord blessed me with another day with the sight that I do have. And I try every day to be grateful for the hearing and the sight that I have, and not dwell on the sight and the hearing that I don't have. I'm not, again, like I said, I'm not as sad about my hearing because, I don't know, it's just easier for me to accept that than, but my sight is the hardest one because I wanted to be that soccer mom, that mom that drove around town in her minivan and had all of, my kids' friends and teammates and driving them to practice and driving them to the games and, being the doula to help brand new mamas welcome their precious babies into the world and things like that. It just really, that really does hit me hard. But I'm coping with it. I'm learning ways to help, such as hiring a driver to help my daughter get to and from practices that happen after dark, to and from her game. I have been getting to know some neighbors next door and across the street and things like that kind of around me, so that not so much that they know, because I don't tell them. I just, I just tell them I'm deaf. I don't really tell them I can't see. But just so that I know who they are and they know who I am. That way, kind of get a judge to, I guess, help maybe build a support system here. So, the diagnosis of Usher syndrome, having that official label on it, it really knocked me for a loop. Even though I've had it my whole life, even though I had already made adjustments as far as what to do, making sure I don't drive at night and making sure that I'm more aware of what's going on around me and using my whole entire neck motion, head motion to see what's happening below me and above me and to my sides. That label really got me. It really, really got me, and it knocked me clear for a loop. And as far as the way that it affected me, and that I have to have other people do it for me, and rely on the pictures and the videos that they send me so that I could be a part of it, as well as listen to their stories. And it's hard, but it is what it is. You gotta do what you gotta do, and you gotta be grateful for each day that you have.